right. Hey, T. Hopefully you're doing well. I am prepared now that the site is up to walk you through how to access the admin portal to make updates and changes to the site at your convenience. Of course, I will continue to serve as support regarding any questions you may have, and of course, I can roll up my sleeves and make updates myself. If you're not able to figure certain things out, but it's extremely user friendly. Of course, the website is built on WordPress. We have already established for you your own unique admin credentials, which is your Destiny's Leaders info at gmail.com, and we're using, of course, your current password that you've already shared with me, which I will also display on the screen in just a moment. But yeah, based on that, once I walk you through how to make updates to the site, you'll find that it's fairly user friendly, and you should be able to go in and, of course, again, make changes at your convenience. So you can continue to build on the actual platform. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Just to start off, in order to access your admin portal, what you would need to do is type in your domain name, then / WP admin. Okay, and we have already set up your password. It's Jesus at 20. I think you use that for another one of your platforms. But again, in order to access your domain name, you'll need to use destiniesleaders.org, WP admin. I noted the password, but let's go ahead for your sake. Also note the login name. Login name, which is your Destiny's Leaders info at gmail.com. Okay, great. So there you have it. And of course, it's for your records, and you can always go in and change your password to whatever you think is best. All right, so let's go ahead and put this into action. So right now I'm already on the website. You won't be able to see it because it's cut off, but I'm at the browser right now, and I'm just going to type in / WP admin, and that's going to take me to the admin portal where I can then log into the back office or that admin platform. So I'm going to type in your username of Destiny's Leaders. And you can do it by typing in your username. I should have put that on the notes, so let me do that too. And I will upload this to the band. So let's call this the username here. Username is Destiny's Leaders, and that's lowercase with the leaders. And then we just say email. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we have Destiny's Leaders, then we're going to use the password. Hopefully I typed it correctly, and then log in. Let's see what happens. All right, so you now have access. So that worked out beautifully. So what I'm going to show you now is how to identify where your pages are located, so you will be able to go in and make changes. And also we will spend some time talking about plugins. So these are two areas more than likely you will spend more time working on than others. So just to jump into pages, if you click all on pages and then click all pages, you will then see a list of all the pages that are currently represented on your site. So there you have it. Now, I think one or two of these are not active, like Instagram, that's currently not live, or at least a part of your menu. And there may be one other, but this is essentially how you can access your various pages. So to keep things simple, let's just say I want to go in and edit your About Us. Then I will click on hover over About Us, and I can go in and make edits. If I click here to the name, if I want to say, about Destiny's Leaders, that will give me, if I scroll down, I can then get the menu name access or the page name access. And then I can make changes here. But not only would I want to make changes here, but I also want to edit here as well. So as an example to that, if I say about Destiny's leaders, right? And I click here, I would want to change it here as well. And I would want to also use a dash when I'm doing that. So Destiny's dash leaders, right? I probably want to go with about Destiny's leaders. Okay, there you go. So I hit OK. So once I hit OK, you didn't have to save it, which will be here. So you can click on update. And of course, I'll be changing this back, but this is for future references. And then if I were to go to the actual website itself and type in Destiny's Leaders, you will notice that it's been updated in the menu. So give me 1 second here for it to load. Perfect. Okay, there you go. So about Destiny's Leaders. I have leader versus leaders. So, but you see how it works. And so it's just that simple. So the only thing we did, we clicked on edit, and then we came down to the field where the name is listed. And I almost liked, about Destiny's Leaders. So how about we just leave that, right? It kind of feels right. So we can leave that there. So yeah, so that's one way you can edit, at least from the menu standpoint. Now we actually use Elementor to build a website. Elementor is a website plugin for WordPress that allows you to kind of drag and drop different blocks and then edit those blocks within the website itself to, of course, design the site. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm gonna go back to pages. And I could have clicked on all pages, so let's do that. So I clicked on all pages. I'm gonna scroll down. Let's just continue to focus on about Destiny's Leaders. I'm then gonna, versus clicking on edit, I'm gonna click on edit with Elementor, okay? And Elementor, again, is a plugin. If you come down here to plugins and click on installed plugins, you would notice that Elementor is there. But coming back to it, click on Elementor. Okay, and here's where you can come in and do most of your edits. Okay, so if I wanted to edit the color of my menu bar, I can do that by simply clicking on it, and then this window that opens up at the left, and as soon as you click on it, it's going to be open. But here's where you can do most of your changes. So here's your layout, and if I wanted to change the width of the menu bar, and I'm not going to do it right now, I can make those adjustments here. In layout, you would notice converts into different windows where you can make modifications, and I'll show you examples of that in a moment. But let's just say we wanted to change the style, and the style meaning like the color, right, and the text. Then you can come here to style, and then you can change the background color. As you can see, it's the gray represented on the menu, right? If I clicked on hover, then clicked on the background type, this is where if I wanted to add an image or change the color of the background when you hover over it, it actually do it. This is different than what we have here. Like as I hover over the actual names, that's a different button that we will click on to do that. And I'll show you that in a minute as well. So again, right here you have hover. So if you wanted to change the dynamic of the menu bar where the gray area is located, then you can do so by clicking here and it'll work out for you. So let me just show you an example of that. So I'm gonna say green. So as you can see, it just turned green. All right, so let me put it back. Clear. I'm gonna say, let me fix that real quick. You're like, what is he doing to fix it? Well, that'll be another training. It's fairly straightforward though. All I did was clicked on the color and then copied the code and then brought it over to hover and pasted it there. So that's essentially what I did. All right, perfect. Moving down, so well, let me show you the text. So on the text side, of course, you would need, we clicked here to access the entire bar, but if I wanted to change the menu color, I would need to click inside of the menu. I'm gonna say got it, and all these pop-ups are coming up because this is my first time logging in underneath your login information. So if I click here where the pencil is located, then it gives me a totally different window dynamic where I can then change and modify the placement. For instance, here, if I wanted to move the menu over, I can do so. Because of the size of the menu, it only changes once because there's only so much space for it to move. But I'm gonna put it back to where we found it. So, and you can play around with these just to kind of see what it does. I'm not going to spend any time really explaining these individually, but you can see by just clicking on this pencil is where you can play around with the menu and figure out what you want to do with it. You have style again, where you can come in and change the color. So here, if you wanted to change it, as you see hover, it turns red, right? The normal is white currently as far as the text. If I wanted to hover over the text, it's still white, but I can say the pointer color is red, right? And then if I say, well, I want my active color to be a certain color, if I wanted to make it, let's say, green, right? Then it can be green. That just will show people which tab they're actually on as a friendly reminder. You can drag down that as well. I'm going to convert it back to white here. Let's keep it that way. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, let me get off active. We'll leave it alone. So you see, I don't want this to stay this way. So let me just go ahead and show you something else. You can actually go down below here to history, and you can make changes to what you've just done by clicking on the history buttons here to the right, and this will allow you to go back and reverse the changes that you made. Okay, so there you have it. It's back to where it was, and I'm going to leave it alone, all right, because I don't want to mess it up again. So now that I've converted it back, anytime you make changes, this little green button right here that says update, you want to make sure once you're satisfied with your changes or your updates that you click on this button so that it will save, and then it will go live on your site. All right, so now let's talk about the header image here. So every time you want to change something, you have options. You can click on the top middle, right? And that allows you to access the section you want to modify. And in some cases, you only have a pencil. So those are two ways in which you can make edits to whatever section you're looking to change, right? So in this case, let's just say I'm interested in changing this image of you. I can do so by clicking here, and then I can come over to style, and there's the picture. So if I want to upload a different picture, I can click here to, of course, make changes to the image and so forth. And that's consistent across the board with the site. If you come to a section and you click on, of course, the top middle, it will highlight that section as far as where you can make the changes, and from there you can go in and adjust the style and add images and so forth. And then in some cases, of course, you have to go into the section and click on the pencil, and it will give you access to the content that you want to modify, and you can do it from there. So here it says about us, Destiny's leaders, right? Do it that way. So very user friendly. Okay, I'm gonna change that to about us. That'll look good. There we go. I'm gonna update it so that it'll reflect on the site. So yeah, very user friendly. So all you have to do is just keep in mind the top section where you can edit, and then if you want certain sections within the blocks, then you can click on the pencil to make those changes. Okay, and then just save it from there. So that's a quick overview of the platform itself. Everything that I just showed you is across the board. I know you probably expected more, but it's really simple. Now, just so you know, before we close out, and maybe I think of one or two other things I want to show you, in order to go back to the admin portal after you've updated and saved your work, you would need to go up to the arrow or to the back menu, which is located on your browser. And again, you can't see it because it's cut off, but all you want to do is go to the back arrow, and that will get you back to your admin portal. when I say back arrow, similar to what you would if you were on your browser. You know, if you want to go back to the website you were just on, you hit the back arrow. So that's the arrow which I'm speaking of. But that'll give you access again to where you left off. Of course, if you left off on, let's say appearance, then it will take you back to appearance. If you left off on pages, take you back to pages, etc. So wherever you left off, and I'm sure you get that. And again, you can always come in here and you want to make edits. Say you want to change the name, you can click on edit. If you want to change the actual page itself, like make edits to the page, you will click on edit with Elementor. Another thing I want to show you, of course, was the plugin. So you click here, and I encourage you to, YouTube WordPress plugins that you can possibly utilize to help your site perform better. It's extremely easy to add plugins. You can come here and click on, and to see your plugins that you already have, you can also search here for the plugins you already have. But let's say you want to add a new plugin. You just click on plugin, add new, and it will take you to a different page where you can then make updates to your account as far as the plugins go, like add new plugins. And there are thousands of plugins that you can use for your site. So, you may want to Google best plugins for my WordPress website and then find some that you can actually utilize. Some are easier than others. One thing you want to make note of is when you add a plugin, you click on install now. You can install it, right? But then you need to activate it. So I'm not going to activate it, but in the event that you do add on a plugin, there's two steps. One is install, the next you need to activate it. And when you activate it, it actually goes live on the site. So I just installed it. So BuddyPress is now part of the platform, but it's not active. But what I want to do now is uninstall. So I'm going to go to install plugins. And I'm going to go down to BuddyPress, and I'm going to click here on the static button. And from there, I'm going to hit the drop down menu and choose deactivate and apply. Okay, so now that's deactivated, but you can see it's still here. So now I'm going to go ahead and just delete it, which I can do right here. And it's asking me if I want to. I'm going to say yes, it's okay. All right, so we just removed it all together. All right, so that's plugins. And again, I would encourage you to YouTube or Google best plugins for WordPress to see, if there's anything that you may be interested in. One thing you may be interested in that we can work on together by means of just like practice from a plugin standpoint is chat. There is a feature where you can set up a live chat on your website. So people can go to the website, click on the chat button, which is normally at the lower right, and then it comes to you as a text message where you can communicate to them backwards and forwards that way. So that's something you may be interested in. And if so, let me know. And I think that'd be a great case for us to work on together just to get you familiar with the platform. So that's plugins. Let's say you want to make changes to your menu, and this will be the last one. You can click on appearance, go down to menus, and this is where the menus are located as far as the order of the menus. And as you can see, some are pushed in, right? And that's where your drop-down menu is located. But you can always hit the drop button, and then you can remove the actual menu item itself. And then, again, in order to change the name, you need to go back to your pages, click on the actual page that you're looking to change, and then change the name with the edit button. But if you're looking to add, again, Instagram is not a part, but if we want to add it, I can just click here and then hit add to menu. And then once it's added, it'll allow me to drag and drop the location of where that page is on my menu. So that's something to keep in mind as well. All right, so that's pretty much it. It's not a lot more. I've shown you how to access the various pages. I've shown you how to make edits to the pages. I've shown you how to make adjustments to the actual menu, as well as add plugins. I think the only thing left I want to show you is something you may find yourself utilizing pretty much a lot, and I probably should have showed you this in the beginning stages, but there's one other section when you click on the block to make edits that you want to be familiar with, which is the advanced section. An advanced section pretty much just allows you to change the margins. So if I wanted to make this come higher, right, I can, or go down, I can bring this up. You see how it's going up? If I wanted to bring it down, which I do, right, I can do that as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. You can play around with the margins there, and make adjustments to the placement of different blocks on the site itself. All right. So the last but not least, here's what I would encourage you to do, which is YouTube Elementor, and get familiar with the functionality of the platform. There are a lot of training videos that are online that you can become familiar with, and it'll walk you through everything I just did and some. But essentially, the site is, again, very user friendly. Of course, once you're on the edit portion of the site and you want to go back so that you can access different pages, make sure you hit the back arrow and you can make changes from there. So hopefully this has been helpful. Again, if you have any questions, let me know and we can work on whatever you have going on together. All right. Wish you well. Bye.